Yume turned around and walked away without even glaring once. Otome and I were left in the shopping district. So, what do you want to do? Nope. Well, there was a bit of delay. How could a brother and sister have a date? Pretend?
ほら、弟くんにいつか彼女さんができたとき、デートも一つもできないとかっこ悪いじゃない？だからお姉ちゃんが練習相手になってあげる。
She was enthusiastic about her idea. A girlfriend, huh? When I looked around, all I saw was couples everywhere. Well, it was almost Christmas. What, is that the thing? Just like, hey, it's Christmas. That's when people get into relationships around this point. I mean, if you're single by that point, then what the hell? It'd be kind of funny if all the other couples going around and doing the exact same thing. Just pretend dates, just like, yeah, pretend. What? They took my arm awkwardly. Why is she beet red? We walked arm in arm all the time. Because Otome never kept her guard up when she was with me, she usually got excessively touchy-feely with me. Then why don't we stop this? We stood in the middle of the street while awkwardly locked arm in arm. No. We look like a brother and sister who dared what they imagine, imaged in their minds. However, they didn't know what to do, and now they are completely lost. She dragged me around for a while, and I ended up being her pretend date for the whole afternoon. What is it, Charlie? Let's see. There's a lot of things. I'll keep them secret. Now her face would be like that, only eyes raised more if he replied with that voice. It was early afternoon on Sunday. Today was supposed to be my day off. But instead I'm... Ouch! Otome smacked me with the script. It was my mistake to even think of reading the script while taking it easy watching TV. Otome found me immediately and said... And here we are. I'm sorry. Somehow Otome was all fired up about this. Her acting was very realistic too. Wait a minute. Let's take a short break on Thursday. I could use a drink too. There she said so, and I stood up and headed to the kitchen. Phew. I lay down on the floor and sighed. I wasn't used to acting, so I found it draining. Well, just the voice acting is pretty much all it is, though, isn't it? I've been doing this crap for years now. Although I wouldn't actually be on stage myself, it was still a bit embarrassing. Now, on stage, no. Just definitely no, I wouldn't be able to handle that. The kotatsu felt so warm and nice. I started feeling sleepy. Maybe I'll close my eyes and rest for a little. Yeah, that's the typical thing people say, isn't it? You know, I'll just sit here and just rests for a little. 3 hours later... whoa. Look at the time.
ほら、弟くん。
But she ain't having any of that, she knows, yes? I jumped up.
まったく、ちょっと目を離すとすぐこれだよ。
But he was only gonna rest for a minute. I mean, you could have smacked him awake within a minute at least. I'm sorry.
はい、お茶入れてきたよ。
Thanks. We sipped our tea under the kotatsu.
でも、すごくいい話だよね。書いてるの、雪村さんだっけ？
You know, I know they mean just like their legs under the kotatsu and all that, but the way they were there, imagine just like if they actually went completely under the kotatsu, just like crouched like I just sipping tea, just like, you know, I don't think this is how you use a kotatsu, and I'm not even Japanese, but I know this is not how you use a kotatsu. Yeah, I'm actually surprised by her hidden talent.
うん。私、こういうのって全くダメだから、ちょっと羨ましいな。
You should try too, Otome.
書いてみたことがあるんだよ。
Really? Her unexpected past was just exposed.
そして、自分の才能のなさに絶望したの。
She pretended to break down crying. What did you write?
秘密だよ。
You know, in the past, like, I remember writing stories and the grammar, the punctuation, everything was absolutely god-awful. And for some reason, the school actually took a liking to it. Just like, this is really good stuff. I'm just like, you what? I mean, the idea is pretty straightforward and all that, but my god, the writing is just complete cluster, terrible. How could anyone find this interesting? It's just like a story of like some random kind of dragon slaying guy, and he's just like slaying dragons, but it's like the dragons are just like able to communicate and just like, why do you want to kill us or something? I can't really remember, because funny thing is they're just like, we'll take this and we'll photocopy and give it back, but they never gave it back. Since then though, my writing has improved, my punctuation, all that is improved. So, it's getting a bit better. And when it comes to writing, like that story I've mentioned many times before, that's gonna take me freaking forever to finish, because really, there's just so much ideas to go about the story. I've got the ending in mind, but everything between is all just kind of jumbled ideas. So I don't know how long it would take. So yeah, let me read it.
やだよ。
So you still have it?
ないよ。もちろんもう捨てちゃったよ。
Though I can totally understand Otome there, because really some of the stories that I wrote when I was younger, just like someone just like, can I read that? I'd be like, no, it's embarrassing. It's just terrible.
あんな恥ずかしいの残ってるわけないじゃない。やだな。
I remember writing these absurd stories when I was a kid, with like the cast from South Park in various different scenarios, and they were like teenagers in this instead of being, you know, how old are they again? I can't even remember, but they were in their teens in this, and they just like go on various different adventures. They pissed off this one mad scientist guy who's like trying to like destroy something or take over the world. I can't even remember. It was just completely absurd, and would just have references to various games, series, even freaking music related as well. Like in one scene, they raised Freddie Mercury from the grave to destroy some barrier. It's just absurdly silly. It's ridiculous, but not in that kind of, you know, wording it like that. He's like, that sounds awesome. Yeah, awesome when you word it like that, but man, the writing was terrible. She waved her hands. It was obvious. Knowing how you are, Otome, I bet it's in one of your drawers.
勝手に部屋とか入ったら怒るからね。
It was unusual for her to panic this badly. I wondered what she wrote. I'm curious. The only way to find out was when Otome is busy with her student council work. Okay, I'm gonna state this now and see if my guess will be right when he gets around to probably sneaking into her room. I wonder if you'll come across her underwear drawer by accident. That's just a guess, and if it happens, I was totally right.
ほら
She slapped my head.
今絶対良くないこと考えてた
No, I wasn't.
嘘ついたってわかるんだからねもう
Otome got angry. The more she reacted this way, the more curious I became. What kind of a delusional story did Otome? Slap!
また考えた変なこと考えてないで練習するよ返事は
She glared at me. Your glare's got nothing on you, Miss Glare, Otome. Yes. As I vowed to myself that I was going to read it, somehow I resumed practicing with Otome. You know, another example of my writing would be back in that part where I wrote that mysterious mask kind of story. That was a different type of writing to how I was used to, because it's like, tried to create a mystery out of it. You know, not like tell a straightforward story, I deliberately left holes in it, so that I'd leave it up to your imagination to figure out what happened. Just like, okay, you got a mask, he stares at it, he picks it up, it's strange. And then he's just like, strange sensation, he puts it back. And then suddenly it flashes back to like a month or so later and reveals what happened, but doesn't explain a damn thing, which makes it a mystery, because that's kind of what I was going with. So I have improved with writing at least. You...
お腹すいた
Starving enough to glare? Is that always the first thing out of your mouth?
うん私もお腹すいたな
It's earlier than our normal dinner time, isn't it? The clock said it was a little past 6.
だって美味しそうな匂いがするんだもんそうだよねカレーなんて作る弟くんが悪い
Indeed, the smell of curry was mouth-watering. You need to wait for another hour. Curry tastes better after sitting for a while.
いやそんなに変わんないって食べたい時に食べるのが一番美味しいんです
Wait an hour? Who could wait an hour with the smell of food in the air? I mean, waiting while it's cooking would be bad enough with that aroma, just like, ooh, floating through the air towards it in a kind of comedic way. And then, like, once it's done, it's just like, put it on a plate, I'm eating it. Just like, well, let it cool down. No, I'm eating it right now.
だね
See, even you agree with me. I calculated the time so I could serve you the best curry.
大丈夫だよ弟くんの料理はいつ食べても美味しいから
She spoke with such a cheerful smile. Okay, I understand. I'll get it ready right away. As I head to the kitchen... Oh, the curry thieves. The doorbell rang.
誰が来たみたいだよ
Yeah, who could it be at this time of day? I turn around and head to the front door. Yes, who is it? I opened the front door.
来ちゃった
There was Anzu standing with blushed cheeks and a downcast look. What's going on? She said I came.
よしゆきあの
She cast me an upward glance.
私ねえアンズ何言ってるのよダメだよココちゃんこれから面白いところだったのに
You know, it's kind of funny really how perverted they are and how anti-perverted Otome and Yume are. It just surprises me that there hasn't been much conflict between them. Imagine that. Tag team match, Otome and Yume versus Akane and Anzu. It's a match, of course. A glare off! I think that'd be pretty obvious who'd win that one, though. I wonder... Well, actually, we probably have seen Anzu glare at some point, but I can't remember quite what it looked like. Because she rarely shows too much emotion, really, other than, like... She usually shows more of a mischievous kind of side rather than a I'm angry side. But Coco and Akane appeared from the other side of the pillar while talking loudly. She grinned.
しゆきも何デレデレした顔してるのよ
dumbstruck, more like it. I didn't have such a look on me. Wow, really, how can you tell? Instead, I think I had a blank look on my face. That's my default expression, really. It's weird, really. It's just like, I think I deliberately even do that. Just like, no, do not show emotion, because you just know people are gonna comment on it, and you know, social anxiety is just like, enforces the idea, just like, nope, keep a default face. And it can be pretty frustrating at times. Instead, I think I had a blank. Yeah, I already read that. I don't recall making plans for the 3 sets of Gecko girls to come over, I think. I tried to remember, but no such arrangement came to mind. Also, cleavage. Just thought I'd point that out. What can I do for you?
ほら、人形劇の本番まであまり時間ないじゃない？だから打ち合わせとかしようと思って。という建前のもと、義行の手料理をご商売に預かろうと。
Well, at least you're honest.
ココちゃんは義行くんの手料理が食べたいって言うから。
But you chose this day, well, night. Out of all the other nights that you've known each other, you didn't choose any of the other ones. It's only now that you decide, you know what, let's try its cooking.
言ってないよ。食べたいって言ったの本当じゃない。この匂い、今日はカレーも。
Yeah, it's always curry because it's the same scene. Imagine if it had various different scenarios where it'd be a different meal. I mean, it'd still pretty much be the same thing, it'd just be they'd be referring to something else. It says the Gecko girls were talking selfishly. They simply came over because they wanted to eat. Is going home one of your choices? You don't get any choice in this. Huh. Oh well, I made more than enough anyway. Why don't you come in? I let them in. They head to the living room on their own as if they were in their own house. You had the nerve! There were 3 visitors, so now there were 6 people. I knew we had plenty of curry, but I wondered if we had enough rice. You know, it's like, kind of like, friends just like go into people's house, just like make it their own. Just like, they'll go in the fridge, have all this, they'll just like, make a mess and then piss off. But if the friend's house they're over does the exact same thing to them, at their house, then they're just like, you know what, I'm pissed off. It's just like, I don't see the irony in it. As I headed to the kitchen, I realized there was a bigger problem. Somehow Otome held up her head proudly. Wait, there'll be foods for you. It's a mystery everything you eat goes. Maybe it's spring fuel. I don't know, it's definitely not going to your chest. You know, I'll never understand that. It's just like, you know, you always seem like obsessed with having bigger breasts now, but I imagine like for someone that have like huge breasts, wouldn't that be inconvenient? Like, oh, good God, my back. I'm just like, oh, ah. You just quickly turn around, your boobs go around, and someone's standing there. K.O. Nothing.
ちょっと得意そうな顔してるね。
You know, a flat chest could also pass off as a guy if you had the right disguise as well, really, isn't it? Maybe that's what you're referring to, just like, it's useful. I can, like, it's just like, I'll get on trains and all that, and would only have to, like, pay for a kid, because they won't see the big breasts and all that. They just think I'm a kid, so that I'll get cheaper prices. And also, I could, like, dress as a guy, and people would think that I was a boy. And then all this and all random scenarios.
してないよ。ココは胸に自信持ってるから。別に私は。で、ヨシユキ、何見てるのよ。
I'm not looking at anything. Sure I am. I'm looking at the TV. Coco was more bulletproof than I thought. Oh, you're telling me I'm just remembered that scene from her out now. She very much is. They're freaking huge.
でも、明るには負けるけど。
Akane stuck her chest out proudly, with cleavage, but still. I can't think of anything to say after that. It emphasized her bouncy boobs. Oh, come on, Coco. There's not much to see, really, when they're concealed. Just like, what do you mean by that? It's just like, you were looking at them. Why was Coco angry? I was looking at Akane's boobs. She pointed to Coco's breasts.
すごくここっぽい。でね、めちゃくちゃココちゃんっぽいよね。何よ、ココっぽいってどんなのよ。
It was noisy around the dinner table. Oh, there it is. Except for one person. Yume-sama, would you like seconds? I asked Yume, who was sitting next to me, to see how she was doing.
どうぞお構いなく。
She looked away. As I expected, Yume-sama was in a bad mood. I could only imagine how she was going to tell me off after Coco and the other girls went home. That made me feel depressed just thinking about it. Yeah, they don't tend to approve to that.
よしゆきくん、美味しかったよ。満足じゃ。
I went outside to see the three girls off. Oh, it was completely dark. The cold winter air was completely cold without the sun. You ever been, like, seen how the outdoors looks when there's, like, no lights, no street lights or anything? It literally is pitch black. It's like, one time I was looking out the door, and usually, even in night when it's just black, I can see quite clearly, but that's because of the street light. But there was this one night where the street light wasn't on for some reason, and it was just pitch black. My eyes could not even adjust to it. It's just like, holy crap, that is dark. It's just like, how the hell did people get around back in the day before all that? Even with candles and all that shit, how the hell would they be able to do that? It was only a little past 9, but I didn't think it was safe for the girls to walk home alone at night. Maybe I should walk someone home.
ココちゃんは商店街の方だったよね。うん。私と茜は高台の向こう側。
We're just stating this fact for you, even though you probably already know in character about this, but because, you know, the player wouldn't originally know, we have to state it. That meant Coco would be walking alone, but Anzu and Akane would be walking further. You know, that's the thing with games or visual novels like this, is they have to explain things that realistically the character would already know and understand well enough, but they'd have to state it, otherwise the player and all that wouldn't have a clue. It's like in games where you just like, you do remember where your house is, right? I'll just mark on your map for you, just like, that just seems so stupid, doesn't it? But they'd have to, because the starting point of the game isn't at their house. And you wouldn't know their house because you already just played the game. Ah, but I should help Otome clean up too. Our numbers had increased to 6 all of a sudden. What should I do? Well, obviously we'll help Otome, but let me just double check just in case anyway. Indeed. Also needed to check for, like, the time for him to wake up as well. I guess I'll help Otome clean up after dinner. See you, be careful going home.
それじゃあまた明日。バイバイ。またね。
They each waved and headed in the direction of their homes. Let's see. Maybe I'll wash the dishes.
あれ？送っていかなかったんだ。
Otome was surprised when I got to the kitchen. No, it's only 9 o'clock and I think they should be okay. Coco lives close by and Anzu and Akane live in the same direction. I'll help you wash the dishes. I rolled up my sleeves and stood next to Otome.
ありがとう。
I put drops of dish soap on a sponge and washed up. Otome kept humming cheerfully next to me the entire time. That scene was incredibly short compared to the other scenarios.
Good evening.
Wake up. It's as cold as I thought. Well, I think I'll call it a recording here. So, I'll see you next time, beavers. See you next time.